lunch is a starting point that is without any assumptions or vested interests. It is to cast something into the wind without any ties in order to see which way the breeze will take it. Look around you. This room is full of blank pages. Blank pages that, granted, are all wearing identical red and black robes and caps, but pages that are empty nonetheless and filled with potential. In 4 years, most of us will be graduating from college. In 8, some of the diplomas with which we will be presented today will be replaced with business, law, and master's degrees. Some of us will be married in 3 years, and some of us will have children in 5. Who knows? You might even be sitting next to the next Supreme Court Justice, Hollywood movie star, or medical genius. Right now, though, the book is empty, and it is up to us to fill in the pages. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Before we talk about the future, let's reminisce a little about the past. What we are today began in elementary school, when we were timid, shy little kids who were terrified of the opposite sex and thought that recess and lunch were the best classes ever. Then, this mentality quickly changed when we reached middle school, that adolescent age where everyone is exceedingly gangly, incredibly awkward, and equally convinced that no one understands us. Finally, we have high school, where some realize that being a rebel isn't such a high priority, while others continue to think that lunch is in fact the best class ever. As we sit here today in our graduation caps and graduation gowns, and listen to our wonderful band play Pomp and Circumstance for the next 2 hours, sorry guys, I'd actually like to take us back to middle school, back to that fear that nobody understands us. While I'd like to think that we have grown internally, as well as externally, from that awkward prepubescent stage in our lives, we all still, to some extent, live in constant fear and anxiety of the ways in which other people perceive us. Whether it's what you do when you get ready for school in the morning, to how you act when you're around your best friend or your boyfriend, to changing what you eat so you can conform to some norm that society, or even the kids at the landing, have determined to be the socially acceptable standard of beauty, all of us allow our decisions and our opinions about ourselves to be changed by the people in our lives. And the message of my speech is this: who cares? Who cares if you woke up late this morning and had to pull up the sweats and put up the hair? Because trust me, you're gonna do that a lot in college. Who cares if you had that extra cookie for lunch? It's your body, it's not your best friend's. The only person who has both the right and the power to check your decisions and your ultimate opinion of yourself is you. As we leave high school for the last time and take the next great step in our lives, we have to keep in mind that we are the masters of our minds, and we are the masters of our ultimate fate. The page is blank in front of us, and it is our perception of ourselves and of the ways in which we act upon that perception that will ultimately guide the pen. The rest of the story, how we fill in those pages, are ultimately up to us. Remember that old saying about the cup being half empty or half full? Well, I've got some new ones for you, courtesy of a business website. We know that the optimist says that the glass is half full, and the pessimist says the glass is half empty. But what about everyone else? Well, I'd imagine that the cynic is annoyed that half the glass is missing. The troublemaker wants to know what's in the glass anyhow, and wants the rest of it. The worrier frets that the remaining half will have evaporated by next morning. The fanatic thinks that the glass is completely full, even though it isn't. The philosopher says that while the terms half full and half empty are semantically acceptable, the terms are technically can be neither, since full and empty are absolute states and are therefore incapable of being halved or modified in any way. And the waiter doesn't care what's in the glass, so long as he's keeping it full enough to get a good tip at the end of your meal. The bottom line is that the glass doesn't matter. What's in the glass doesn't matter. All that matters is your attitude toward it, your willingness to take those risks in life that allow you to live to the fullest, and your determination to pick up the pen and fill the pages that lie blank on the table in front of you. Yes, sometimes you will fail, and yes, sometimes you will get hurt. But you will also be a stronger person because of the chances that you had enough faith in yourself to take. And so, class of 2010, I'll leave you then with my congratulations, and a quote by an author who knew exactly what to do with blank pages. Douglas Adams once wrote, "Flying is learning how to throw yourself at the ground and miss." So here's to learning how to fly.